Hello, everybody. I'm Brian.
I'm Brian.
This is Brian versus Brian, episode 151. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. All right. Steven Spielberg with a story by George Lucas, a screenplay by Willard Hook and Gloria Katz, because George Lucas ain't got time for no screenplay writing. I just come up with the ideas. I'm an idea man.
Yep.
I don't write it. May 23rd, 1984. So what, 3 years after the first one? Roughly?
Yeah, I believe so.
Budget of 28 million, box office of 333.
Woo.
Yeah. So this is the first. Well, this isn't the first. The first Indiana Jones movie I've seen is The Crystal Skulls.
That's good. Good starter, that one.
So I do know he has a son that rides motorcycles. So, but this is my first old indie I've seen, and it was, drum roll, a little boring. Just
How dare you?
giant chase sequence. This whole movie, it's like it's a giant chase scene, with not much story in between it. It's like, oh, grab the rock, fight
Go
this
get a
guy.
rock,
Bridge is falling, plane is falling. Rock crusher, or careful. Demon guy. Child slave labor. Just goes and goes. Didn't give me much time to rest. I mean, it's a kind of a fun, old school adventure movie. That's what it's written as, obviously.
Yeah.
But I found it to be a little boring.
Interesting. Yeah. This is, I'll say up front, this is my favorite indie movie. And I think the reason why, there's many reasons, but one of my biggest, I like movies that take fucking big swings. They don't always work, but when they do, they typically resonate with me. And this one takes a fucking huge swing. In that, I know you haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark or Last Crusade, but Raiders and Last Crusade have the same kind of like tone. Like it's very adventurous and lighthearted and going on an adventure. And then this movie kind of starts that way for like the first hour. It's like the same tone and everything. Oh, going on an adventure and it's silly. Oh, we're in the jungle and she's freaking out over the animals and yada yada yada. And then, but in this movie, about an hour in, the movie just takes the fucking biggest swerve of like tone. It becomes dark and twisted and fucked up, and I kind of love it for that. Where the other movies don't, they kind of stay in the same tone. But this movie was just like, whoa, we are going into some really dark shit here. And so I really, I love that about the movie, and I also love that I think it's a good slow burn. Like again, not a whole lot, of action happen. Oh, I guess you got the action set piece that takes place in the first like 10 minutes, but after that, it's kind of slow. But then towards the end, when the movie really picks up, it does not let off the gas at all. It's just like, okay, here we go. Here's this action scene, and you're going from set piece to set piece to set piece. So I think it's really entertaining towards the back end of the film. And then another reason why it's my favorite is fucking Short Round. Man, I love this character. Like sometimes it could be kind of a gamble having a little kid character be kind of comic relief that could be annoying or too much. But I feel like his contribution to the film is so lovely. He's so many good lines. One of my favorite ones is towards the end, and he's like, "Short Round, quit messing around with that little kid and get in the cart." And then you see him in a wide shot, "Okie dokie, Indy," and he like gives a thumbs up. Like there's so many good lines. No time for love, Dr. Jones. There's someone on our tail. There's just so many good lines with him, and I think it's a good performance, and they have good camaraderie. And there's also a touching moment towards the end. Well, not towards the end, and kind of like the action climax, but. Yeah, man, this is my favorite. I'd be curious to see how you feel about the other ones. They're very different in tone. They're still like an adventure, go get the Nazis relic thing, but they're not as dark as this one is. So I think most people's favorite is the first one, and I guess I like the second one better, but it's kind of hard to argue against Raiders. Raiders is really, really good. But yeah, those are all kind of my overall thoughts.
the Nazis' relic. It's the Ark of the Covenant, man.
Well, I haven't seen it. You do
I
get
know
a
that.
Nazi's face melting off.
Yeah. So yeah, starring of course, I say of course, and I forget his name. Harrison Ford, Kate Capshaw, and Academy Award winner Ke Huy Quan is in this movie. You're gonna put that on the DVD now.
Yeah,
Academy Award winner Ke Huy Quan, the most successful of anyone in this movie. Well, not financially. He hasn't done a lot of movies. But
yeah.
accolades wise. So they didn't want to put Nazis in as the villains again. Well, of course he didn't. What is he going to do it twice? So George Lucas decides to regard this film as a prequel. So I didn't need to see the other one first. So this is a prequel because I think it did say in the beginning set in 1938 or something, Shanghai 38, or something like that. So it is before the other one. So yeah, criticized for its strong violence and gore. Yeah, he also got that same complaint Spielberg about Gremlins.
Yeah.
So Spielberg suggested that the Motion Picture Association alter its rating system, which it did 2 months after the film's release, creating a new PG-13 rating.
It's crazy.
Yeah, won the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. Yeah, so before they just had PG and R.
R, yeah.
it was nothing in between. It's either a child's movie or an adult-only movie. It's like, that's pretty weird.
Quite the range, yeah.
Never thought the RoboCop, PG. Yeah, so it starts off in a little Asian club with some Asians watching this white girl dance as an Asian.
Mm-hmm.
A little racially insensitive, as most of this movie is.
At least the first 5 minutes are, yeah.
And she's going, and no more than that. We'll get into that. And she's going and dancing, and what happened there? There's some funny stuff. Yeah, she's just bing bong bing kind of stuff, and I was like, oh man, okay. And,
out the gate.
And then they got a really cool what do they call that? The title plate. That was really cool because it was like halfway in front of her, and she's like obscuring it.
Yeah,
She's in front of it. It's behind her, and it just reminded me of, it was a really cool, like, I don't know, like 40s looking title.
Yeah,
how it's like hand painted and part of the she's in front of it. I was like that. I thought that was really cool. It was like,
yeah,
Temple of Doom, and then we get some ridiculousness with Indy talking to the Asian guys. What do you get them? You got them
like a
rock,
jewel or a rock,
yeah, something. And they're trying to pay him with a diamond, and the diamond is plastic as shit. They keep putting it on things. It just sounds plastic. Tink. It's like, can't even make it sound more like a glass or diamond. It's just a big piece of plastic, obviously. And I like how you said the diamond. They put the diamond, and then they have a lazy Susan at their table.
Yeah. You spin it around.
They lazy Susan it over to him. Here you go. Lazy Susan, dude. And then they poison him, and he wants the antidote. And then we get into a ridiculous waka waka.
So good, yeah.
fight scene, kicking diamonds and antidotes while you're trying to pick them up. Shucks. What are you looking for? The diamond. I'm looking for the antidote.
So
as
good.
he cross pass and kicking things. Oh no!
I love it too because like that scene goes on, or them trying to get both of those items goes on for so long that at some point it's like, those people are just scrambling for 15 minutes. They can't find an exit. They would be gone and so fast, but they're just like like scrambling around the dance floor, not going anywhere. I just think it's funny.
Yeah, no one was like scared at first. There's like champagne popping and stuff, and so this Asian guy with this little weird gun. Little weird Asian guy too. He's like, oh, and he pulled out this little skinny chrome gun. He was maybe gonna shoot him with, but he waits till the cover of champagne popping.
Yeah,
and then he does what, and then Indiana's friend is like, oh, kind of lays it down. You're gonna be okay. Not this time, Indy. Some pretty funny shit. And then I don't remember what this has to really do with anything. Then they escape, and it's Short Round driving this big old, Duesenberg freaking long Cruella de Vil car with milk crates strapped to his feet. Okie dokie, here we go. Hey, you bring a girl, it's just supposed to be you, Dr. Jones.
So good.
Just go, short stuff. And they take off, and they get in a plane to get out of there. And it's like, oh, here, we got you a plane. Thank goodness we're out of here. And then, what do you know? The plane is revealed to have this name of the person chasing him on the side of the plane. That's his smuggling plane. How do we not? Oh, no, shucks.
Shuts the door, and it's like there's a logo and the little grin on his face.
Yeah.
I also think I need to look at the trivia, but I think there's no close-up of him, so I don't know for sure. But the guy who greets them at the airport, I think, is Dan Aykroyd. It sounded just like Dan Aykroyd. Okay, yeah. I was like, oh, that's got to be Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, a little small part. Like, hello there.
Yeah.
And he's playing British. He's playing something weird. But I definitely thought it was Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Looks like him, sounds like him. Very small part. When was this? 1983?
1984.
So this is Ghostbusters time.
Yeah.
You throw your man a bone here or what? 5 lines.
Yeah.
So then they go to this little well, first they let the fuel out of the plane. Oh no, the patented fuelless plane. And then the pilots jump out and they wake up and no one's flying the plane. Classic no one's flying the plane gag.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to fly a plane? No, do you? Uh-oh.
Can't be that hard.
And then I don't quite remember, they jump out of it with the inflatable raft.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what happens? Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good.
Then you get a nice scene of the inflatable raft. They do this in movies back in the day. Like, you remember that little Indian guy? I sent the clip of the Mentos. He has the umbrella and he jumps out of it. And then they show the prop one and it's like, no, it's not floating right how it would, or how you would want it to in a movie. It's all fucked up. Same thing. They show the raft and it's like until they go back to close-ups and they're flying it like it's a magic carpet. You could put this whole movie to the Mentos theme.
Oh, 100%.
Really, it's just one big chase thing. Fresco's better in life. People getting sacrificed and shit. But yeah, I thought it was funny showing the raft out like a wide shot, actual something really falling. It's like, and then
I thought it was cool because in the wide shot, it's not blown up yet, and in one shot you see it actually blow up into its final form, and then you kind of cut to them hitting the ground. But
it's final form. It transforms. Then they float that down to a ice capped mountain range and slide on that, and I guess now they're in India, apparently, and reach a village. The village has had their rock stolen, and their children. Don't forget about the children.
Yeah,
but mostly the rock is what we want back, because it's sacred.
The children is an optional side quest. You don't really have to do it, but the rock is your main quest.
Yeah. The rock is highlighted. The children one's just the rock shows up on the map. You got to figure out the children part. Then I don't remember what they find a tunnel under the village to explore. Is that how that worked out?
I think I just told them there's a palace nearby.
Yeah,
and they think
what the hell was the palace called? It was something
I don't remember.
I thought, it wasn't like Bangkok. It was Bangtot.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Bangkok.
Bang Tot Palace with the shirt, whoever the fuck his name is. I don't know what the
Yeah.
the little boy king, whatever the heck that is, or he is, or what he is. So they go to that palace, and then here's their first controversy. This was banned in India for quite a while.
The dinner scene?
Well, the movie,
Hmm.
because of its
Well, I mean,
depiction
because
of
of the
India.
dinner scene?
Well, I would say partly, and because every Indian in this movie is either helpless or evil.
Yeah.
There's no in between. You're evil, or you can't do anything to help yourself. So
Yeah.
you're looking for the white savior
Hmm.
of Indiana Jones. So yeah, the dinner scene. What was the first entree there? They had
I think there was a
bugs.
snake at
No,
one point.
snake.
Yeah,
They bring out a snake, and then they cut open the snake to serve baby snakes.
Mhm.
That's not how snakes are born, but we'll go with it. Baby snakes inside the cooked mama snake.
Hmm.
And they're all slurping those down. You got the Indian dudes slurping two at a time, just slurping raw snakes. We don't even cook them or fucking dice them up, baby. We just slurp them. And then what else did they bring out next? Was it? Oh, she's a little perturbed by the food. Willie, the white exotic Asian dancer.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Do you have anything more, normal, like soup or something?" And they bring her out a soup, and Short Round is interested in the soup too because he's not down with this fucking snake baby. So he's looking over her shoulder eagerly, and she opens the pot, and it looks like, oh, good soup. Smells it. It's Campbell's. It seems like it's Campbell's. A meal in itself. It's gonna warm you to your bones, and then there's some eyeballs float up. It's, So they don't want the eyeball soup. I think they serve giant like scarab beetles.
Yeah.
It's like the mummy.
Yeah.
And then you get one of the guys, what you're not going to eat? And he's like ripping off the
Ripping it
scarab's ass and licks the slime from it. What? You're not hungry? Sucking out the scarab juice. And then, finally, dessert. They serve
yeah.
a monkey brain in front, or a monkey head in front of everybody. Chilled monkey brains. Yes. They're just scooping them out and slurping away. Yeah. So, like I said, the Indian people were like, none of these are Indian foods. This is
Yeah,
so
it's pretty rough.
fucked up. And one of the guys, I can't remember, one of the screenplay guys or something said it was supposed to be a joke. It was supposed to be a joke that Indian people were so smart they knew what these white people expected their food to be, and so they did it. But he's like, we played it way too subtle. It doesn't come off as a joke at all.
Yeah. If that was the intent, I did not get that intent. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even know if that was the intent. That kind of sounds kind of like a cop out to try and get away from it. So it was later allowed in India. So, oh yeah, and they introduced the little boy king. That was pretty funny. You always got to have some weird, tension in the movie. Oh, is the king looking for a wife? I could use a rich Shangri-La man. I don't know what that. And then it's a child, and then you got Short Round. Oh, maybe he's into older women.
So good. Oh god.
And then I think they they're spending the night there. And do they find tunnels underneath the?
Yeah, they do a scene where like a will they won't they love thing between Indiana and Billy. And you got 5 minutes to come back here. He'll be back in 5 minutes. And then in that time he gets attacked by some assassin in his room.
It was standing there as part of the Indian guy's mural.
Yeah.
It's like the other guy. He just kind of comes out. Yeah. All right. Starts choking him, and then the girl is like, you're not gonna get this anymore. And it's just funny. He's fighting for his life, but also wanting to get some tang. So he's slamming the guy. Wait, gets the pillar.
Oh my god.
I gotta save my life and get back in that bedroom. How did he get him? Like he flips him over.
He somehow got him up on the ceiling fan, wrapped around the ceiling fan.
Dr. Jones, here's your whip. And then he whips him around the neck or something. But then the ceiling fan grabs him.
Yeah.
This guy's like 300 pounds too. This guy's fucking huge, dude. Ceiling fan.
Look like a janky ass fan too. There's no way.
In like an Indian palace where everything else is very like old and just centuries old, but they got ceiling fans.
Yeah.
We got that. Yeah. Then he's like, oh, he's swinging there. He's like, oh, hit the light. Turn off the switch, and then turning it off somehow unravels him. Oh, and he falls back to the ground. That's pretty funny. And so they find those tunnels and they go down into the Temple of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it would be. And there's lots more chasing and
they get stuck in a room like
sacrificing.
They get stuck in that room with the fucking spikes, and then they're trying to get Willie to fucking let him out. I thought that was kind of a fun scene. Although I'm on the record, I'm not a big fan of Willie. So I thought she was annoying as shit in this movie. But there's some pretty good parts. But yeah, after the trap room, they get to the actual temple, and that's when the movie takes that turn that I was talking about earlier. I was like, oh, okay, we're going into some fucking weird territory now.
Yeah, and Harrison Ford was like calling her princess and stuff. That was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed very Star Wars when you start saying that. And she's, wearing less and less throughout the picture. Mm-hmm. More and more of her dress gets disintegrated, and I gotta rip this part off, I guess. I was like, all right. What are they called? The bad guys, the Thuggee, the cult, the Thuggee, the Thuggish Ruggish Bones. All right, and I don't know they're what they're doing. They're sacrificing people to, what the heck was the name of the god, the cult which possesses 3 Sankara stones are revealed to have abducted the children of that village, using them to find the remaining stones because the adults can't find them. It needs a child's heart. I don't know. I guess. During an attempt to retrieve the stones, Jones was captured alongside Willie and Short Round. Thuggy High Priest Mola Ram forces Jones to drink a potion that places him. And he starts into a trance, and he starts to prepare Willie for sacrifice. Short Round's put to work immediately. Get to work! Well, your muscles still have dystrophy.
Oh god!
And all these. It was funny. The little scrawny Indian boy that comes to the village in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
he's all weak and stumbles in. I was like, dude, that's a real like dying Indian boy. It's like they got him out the patio where it's like, hey, this kid's starving. So throw him in here. Promise him some rice. I was like, dude, this kid is like, this ain't
killing
fake.
it. Yeah.
This kid is straight up. He's that character. This is sad. It's like, oh dang.
Oh my god.
I ain't no actor. Then you get all the accoutrements, like crossing a rope bridge over crocodiles, of course. And then that rope bridge failing. And that's the name of the main guy who's kind of chasing him. I just said his name. What the heck was it? Mola Ram?
Mola Ram.
Mola Ram. Let's call him Ram. Cultist falls into the crocodiles. Jones. Oh, yeah, that was a pretty crazy part. Jones invokes the name of Shiva, causing the stones to burn through his satchel. Don't you ever invoke the name Shiva around these stones. So this is by the end, they just keep, and there's some ritualistic, scary stuff in there that kind of turns it darker.
Yeah.
by now standards, I wasn't. Now it's PG again. But or actually no, but now they're going even weaker. And it's like I'm surprised they don't have something below PG, like babies. This one's for 4-year-olds. PG's for 10-year-olds. PG 13, PG 14.
Which is so weird because now you look at something like Crystal Skull and obviously the new Indiana Jones we haven't seen, but I would imagine that both of those movies are PG-13, but I would imagine none of those movies have anything close to the violence that this movie does because like yeah, we are desensitized over the years, obviously, but like you see a heart getting ripped out of someone's chest, you can see people burned alive in a pit, you get like children being whipped. You have Short Round being whipped, and like it was just like I don't know. There's a lot of like darkness in this movie where I think the other movies don't have, but yet they're still PG-13, and this one goes back to PG. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, he's got the heart stealing technique. Protect your heart, Indy. Oh, you can't do it if there's a hand there. Everyone knows that. Yeah, so. And finally, just running and chasing, and tries to grab one, falls into the river. Yeah, and then British Indian Army soldiers arrive and defeat the remaining cultists. Indiana Jones, Willie, and Short Round return to Mayapur and hand over their last remaining stone. Oh, so they lost all the other ones.
Yeah.
They made sure to get this village back its stone. we saved one. What are you going to do, kid? Yeah. The villagers are reunited. Jones and Willie embrace. It reminds me of Under Siege. Let me show you a move.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, hey.
It's a little weird. I think he whips her around the waist. Holds her in.
Makes her spin. Oh!
Because I like the idea because she's like, he's like, we had a good time together. Like you think they're gonna like kiss in that moment. She's like, a good time? This was an awful time. I had the worst time. And I was like, that's kind of a fun ending. Like she just walks off, not getting the love thing, but then he fucking whips her back in. Like, aw.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a little boring for me. It's fun, old school Spielberg way. Never really found much of his stuff to be that great to me, other than Jaws, Jurassic Park. I think those are the two that really stand out as exceptional to me. Yeah, then we got, Ke Huy Quan coming back in the Goonies. That was after this, right? Because this is his first film. So it must be after this. That was Spielberg, wasn't it? Not directed, though?
Not directed, yeah. I think he's produced The Goonies.
Yeah. And speaking of, what the heck, we just mentioned that movie. Oh, yeah, the new Indiana Jones movie. Is that directed by James Mangold? Is that correct? Did I get that?
Yeah.
The Wolverine?
The Logan guy, yeah.
Or Logan guy, not Wolverine. The Wolverine sucked.
Well, I think he did Wolverine and Logan. Whatever
the movie
he did Wolverine
that
came out for Logan. He didn't do the. God, how many fucking? He did the Wolverine. I think I haven't seen it, but the one he goes to Japan, I think.
Yeah,
whatever that one was.
It's not good.
Okay, yeah, I figured I wasn't gonna. Yeah.
An X-Men Origins Wolverine.
That's the one. He did
that one's better than the Wolverine. At least that one's fun. You just call me Blob. I called you Bub. I'm not a blob.
God damn it.
And you got Will.i.am as that black dude. Oh yeah, Will.i.am. I was like, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Come on, Logan.
My God.
So, I mean, it's kind of fun. Ke Huy Quan was pretty good for a child actor, pretty surprisingly. So, surprising he never got anything after this in Goonies until he won a damn Oscar.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'd like to see him in some more stuff. Yeah. all these other guys, I don't really know who they are. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I don't know. I think it's a 7.8 for me. It's high
Okay.
sevens.
Yeah, I'm way higher. I mean, I don't know. I love this movie, man. I think it's a blast, especially when it gets going. It's kind of like speaking of Spielberg, it's kind of like Jurassic Park in the sense of like Jurassic Park is a slow burn, but once it gets going, the movie does not let up. And I think that this movie kind of has the same structure. Like once it gets going, like it's just set piece after set piece. And I think this just it's a good time. Like we don't get these movies like there's gorgeous sets. There is some computer stuff. Um, there's some what is it called? The rear projection, which I always love seeing. But yeah, there's like a mine cart chase scene that was really fun and ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, and then that leads right into the bridge set piece, which I thought was pretty good. um, but yeah, again, to reiterate, I just love the dark tone it takes because it's just unexpected, and it's just like it's kind of awful too. It's just like man, fucking child slave, like kids being whipped and shit. You're like Jesus Christ. But there's a lot of good moments. I love the moment when, again, this is another short round moment, but when Indy is under his trance and short round's trying to get him out of it, and he's like, "Indy, you're my best friend. Snap out of it." It's like, "Oh, he's like this cute little kid." Um,
That he just ditches, right?
yeah,
Because he's not in the other ones.
yeah,
It's like I saved him. He was on the street since he was 4.
yeah.
Now he's 10, and we had a good run, kid. Get out of here.
But yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I would have loved to seen him in the other movie, especially the new one. I bet you Disney's kicking themselves in the ass. I don't think they knew Everything Ever at Once was going to be as big as it was, but I bet
Yeah,
you
how do
they
you
would have
not
put
put?
him in it. Yeah, if that were the case. Um, and that would have been cool to see him older and with Indiana Jones in the new one. That would have been really cool.
Hello, Dr. Jones. It's been a long time. He's like,
So good. Short round. Um, but no, man, I really like this movie. It's a lot of fun. It's dark and fucked up and twisted. I love that shit. Especially compared to the other ones. Objectively speaking, if I were to take the things that I like about movies out of it, just objectively, I think the first one is probably the best. It's the most consistent. It's the set pieces are really cool. It's a very, very good Spielberg movie. But for this one, I just like, for me personally, I like the tone and the fucking weird shit. I like the slow burn aspect of it. To me, this is a 9.1. I could watch this movie over and
ooh,
over again. I love it. And yeah, 9.1 for Indiana Jones.
okie dokie. 7.8. 9.1. I think your score too high. My score very little. Your score very big. I don't want to play with you. You making me broke.
Oh yeah, the card game. Yeah, so good. You're cheating.
Yo, what's this up your sleeve? Ah, you got me, doctor. You got me. That's not even my voice. He's just like he's a mole. All right, yeah. Check it out, man. It's the middle indie. I heard the Crusade one's pretty bad too. Huh? That's kind of a cash
I don't
grab.
know that one.
Third one.
That one. See, I don't, it's weird, man. I think a lot of people have different fucking favorites. I think that shows a good trilogy of movies, but because I've seen a lot of people who love the Crusade because of Sean Connery and the dad stuff. I think it's the weakest of the three personally, but a lot of people like it. I
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah, and then we'll see how this new one goes. I think it looks fun. I love these adventure movies. They don't do this stuff anymore, so it looks like
Yeah.
fun, and with lots of de-aging and time jumping. It appears from the trailer. Lots of Nazis are back, so that's fun.
Nice.
Yeah, you got de-aged Harrison Ford. Can't you just do old Harrison Ford? That's already been done. That was the Crystal Skull. That didn't work. And then so Short Round has been ditched. His son has just been ditched. Like, like people come in, and like his dad was nowhere to be seen afterwards. It's just
What is
people
your
come.
life, sir? How
Well,
do you?
I had a son, a dad, and a little Asian buddy at one point. Yeah, they should have put Shia LaBeouf in this new one. Just a little bit leather jacket and a motorcycle. Yes.
I'm gonna go back and watch Crystal Skull. I know it's unpopular opinion, but I enjoy that movie. I don't think it's a fucking masterpiece. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as the first three, but I don't know. I like some of the set pieces in the movie, and I like the tone of it. I remember a really fun scene in like a 1950s diner. It's like a ridiculous kind of old school punch out, and then it turns into like a motorcycle chase scene. I just remember that whole staging was really fun, and like I don't know, some of the car chases in that movie were really fun, but yeah, the aliens, it wasn't aliens at the end. That was kind of weird.
I don't remember, but I thought it was a cool concept because the Crystal Skulls thing is like a real thing that they don't quite know. Like these skulls have been found, and they say they couldn't have been made at the times they're from because we didn't have, the ability to do crystal like that, and they're just polished or into those shapes or something. I don't know. Dan Aykroyd talks about it because he's crazy. Check out that video.
Oh yeah, doesn't he have a vodka? Crystal
talking about the crystal skulls. Yeah, see, the crystal skulls are he's just going in on it, dude. He's out there, man.
Dude, when he was on Rogan, I had a hard time, dude. It was like, are you on like massive amounts of cocaine? Because you are just driving me nuts right now. Like giving me anxiety just hearing you talk because he's fast and he's like covering 5 points at once. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's like you do know about the crystal skulls. Well, let me tell you. How much time we got left? So, 7.8, 9.1. Indiana Jones and what the heck is this one called? Temple of Doom. No. Oh, it is a Temple of Doom. I get the names mixed up. It didn't seem very Temple of Doomy to me to get that name. It's just kind of like this cave.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Cave of Doom.
I guess it's a Temple of Doom. All right, yeah. As always, check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, here on YouTube. We appreciate it. Always enjoy having you. Please like and subscribe. Please come hang out every Sunday. We'd sure like to have you around for longer than a minute. So, hang in there. It gets better at the end, I promise. Watch the whole thing. Listen to the whole thing. You're going to love it. We'll start having a contest. You make it to the end, you get a free, water bottle or something.
Yeah. We'll send you something.
Pack of balloons, thermos, depending on the season. All right. Love y'all. Thanks for joining us. Till the next Vs, we say peace.
Peace.